Good afternoon. Hello, Kenyan people. This is Kenyan News Alert, and I'm your host of Zulfa. Karibuni kwenye show yetu ya katikati, where we'll be talking more about Sudan tension to Kenya over R.S.F, and then we'll get to really dig deep about the President Ruto Raila and DP Kindiki, what they have addressed the nation today at Mombasa. I have my co-host here. Let them introduce themselves.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is Plains and Felix, and I welcome you to the show. I hope your break has been good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So, guys, you know, in our day-to-day activities, we are surrounded by many aspects, many issues, and many activities that are affecting the common life of mwananchi. So, what are you experiencing wherever you are? What are you undergoing wherever you are? What have you done? What have you managed? And what are the effects of what you are doing? What are what are the obstacles in your field? What are the challenges that you are facing? Right now we have got many political aspects, many political information, many political activities which are going on in our country, and at the same time we have got some of the issues that are external that at some point we shall discuss. So, Zulfa, will you mind if you introduce our topic today of our Semanasi show?
Okay. So, as we've said, we have two issues that we should discuss. But kidogo kwanza nataka tujue the tension between Sudan and Kenya. Basically, the R.S.F people were here, sindio? And wakasign, sindio? Uko shauri moyo. And the country Sudan, actually a few days ago I read their internal affairs walikuwa wametuma kitu fulani pale. Mbona Peter anasema good afternoon everyone. Good afternoon Peter, how are you? So walikuwa kuna ile that letter that they sent, a public announcement, sawa, that Kenya supporting R.S.F is like supporting genocide, sindio?
Yes.
And they even amidst all the warning, amidst all and everything that everyone was saying around Africa, because unajua kile kitu ambacho tunafanya from now, so like that was on the 23rd of February. That is yesterday, sindio? The Sudan Founding Alliance has been established in Nairobi with over 20 political parties, 10 civil groups, 5 military factions, and other signing a charter. Okay, sindio? Now the thing is, what I'm gonna ask you, what does it mean to you that we know what these people have done, sawa, and we are bringing them here, rolling out the red carpet for them to walk in, sawa, and signing charters with them amidst everything that they've done back in their country? What would you say about that?
Thank you. At some point we do engage in some of the activities whereby we believe that we are trying to play our part to either bring a good impact to people, but the fact is not all aspects that we are supposed to engage in ourselves in. Now, right now, as we speak, Kenya appeals to international community while addressing R.S.F signing of a charter in Nairobi. And at some point, following the signing of the charter in Nairobi by Sudanese Rapid Support Forces to establish a parallel government, Kenya has hailed the process while calling upon the international community led by the United Nations to support the country. This is not a bad thing, and this is not a wrong way maybe to go. It is a good way, but how do I wish, if possible, the president could include the government officials in that program. Isikwe like all those people who came here were only from that rebel side. I don't know whether I can call them whether rebel or what. But the fact is, it could be much better if possible they could agree, if the government officials could come and engage with with these people, at least to have two parties to make agreement. It could be more safer. Allowing only those only one party to be in that area, it could bring tension, and it could attract tension to other nations, like just like Kagame of Rwanda, how he could maybe accused of supporting the M23. So how do I wish at some point we are trying to do something good? Yes, I cannot.
What is the good thing they're trying to do?
You see, I'm saying this, they are trying to do something good by maybe promoting peace, right? But at the same time, it is dangerous to the country, because those people will never think that they are trying to promote peace. Why? They didn't invite both sides, both the government and the rebel side, so that they can come together to make some of the dialogue.
Issue, like hii ni shughuli yetu kweli sisi, like hebu nikuulize, let us, for example, you have neighbors, sawa, and these neighbors are having a domestic dispute, sawa, and you go there, and then mtu mwenye anachapwa, kama ni bwana anachapwa na bibi, anakuambia usiingililie, achana nayo, sawa, and then you take the wife kwa kando mwana mkaongea, mnaongea nini? What are you talking? Like, is it our issue? It is good, peace is all good, sawa, but kumbuka this like this R.S.F has been even marked by the wanitaje, by the US. Sisi kuja hapa tuje tuwasign it tukisema ni peace. You know, I'm going to read something here. A Kenya's foreign office just released a statement on Sudan hours after the sanctioned R.S.F and allies signed an agreement to form a parallel government in Nairobi. The Kenyan government welcomes the signing of peace agreement by Sudanese political parties, civil society, and military groups in Nairobi, describing it as a critical step towards restoring peace, stability, and democratic governance in Sudan. Kenya reaffirms its commitment to Sudanese-led and Sudanese-owned solution, emphasizing that inclusive dialogue remains the only sustainable path to conflict resolution and a long-term peace. Sasa haje wakati government yuko yenyewe iko like, no, how we promoting that peace? Able explain to me.
Zulfa, this is my point. According to the most of the information we could maybe come across, they are trying to say that the president was trying to facilitate peace there by maybe providing a room for peaceful talk, right? And I'm here by saying that it was not that much good, because if he was trying to promote peace and he wanted to be mediator, he could invite the two parties. Yes. Yes. He could maybe invite the two parties if possible for a dialogue. Na kama ile party nyingine itakataa, aachane na wote. Unaona, aachane na wote. Because it could be it will be very, 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 very dangerous right now as we speak right now. Some of the information that we could see even on social media trying to convince us that the general of the other side is trying to warn Kenyan government over what in fact they are condemning. What
they called their own ambassador to Kenya. Alirudi nyumbani. What does that mean? What does that mean? They recalled the ambassador back to Sudan. Umeona generali alipokuwa amekasirika. So truly it is good for everybody to be aware that this exercise was conducted in Nairobi, right?
and truly everybody should be aware that the Sudanese government is not happy with our Kenyan government, and in fact they may even decide to attack at any time. And we don't want Kenyan people to die because of simple and unclear information that is convincing Kenya that maybe they were seeking for the peace. So the information in a statement by the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, who serves as the CS for the Foreign Affairs Kenya, while speaking for the first time since the signing of the charter, praised the process that had threatened to throw Kenya into a diplomatic crisis, while urging for more support for the war-torn nation. You understand? So Kenya also calls for the continued and enhanced involvement of the regional and international partners, including the African Union and the United Nations and the international community. Right? And the international community must remain united in their commitment to ensuring that Sudanese peace process is fully supported and guided towards the success. So Musalia Mudavadi said, the government of Kenya takes note of the peace talks in Nairobi by Sudanese political parties, civil society and military groups that led to the signing of a peace agreement and the process of the information of a unity government. The steps are welcomed and ensuring in a journey toward the restoration of peace, stability and democratic and governance in the Republic of Sudan. So according to them, they have no any issue with Sudan, but they are trying maybe to just promote peace there. So further, Kenya has pledged to offer technical and diplomatic support to Sudan to help the country achieve stability, right? Kenya stands ready to offer technical and diplomatic support to Sudan as our shared history, regional proximity and common goals for peace make this collaboration indispensable. Together with steadfast determination and unwavering cooperation, we can help Sudan achieve the lasting peace and stability it so rightful deserves and enable the Sudanese people to build to build a prosperous and harmonious future. So those were some of the information we could get from Musalia Mudavadi.
But as you've said,
yes.
Why didn't they invite the other party? Na wakati hiyo party nyingine ikashow that, because hata mkisign peace hapa, kwani Kenya ni Sudan? Sudan ni Kenya. Like how is it gonna help them if the other party are willing to sit down? Like as you said, they could have called both of the parties in the same place. Ibaki wale na R.S.F ni wale au wengine ni wale. Na tusikue Kenya peke yetu because Africa ni kubwa. Wengine wakuje pia. Then we try to these sides hao wanabonga side yao wanabonga side yao. Because wakati unasaini na moja na nyingine hahipo, what does that mean? Yes, it is good that you are willing to bring peace. That is good. Sawa. But how will it help the common Sudanese meko pale mwenye hata government yake jashow kwenye hii nini? Unasaini the rebels, not the nini. It is
so some of the information that Musalia could give, Kenya remains committed to supporting the Sudanese people as they embark on the critical journey of reconciliation and to address the root causes of the conflict in their country. The peace roadmap signed in Nairobi provides a good framework for further negotiations. Do you understand what they are trying to say?
Further negotiations with who?
Provides a good framework for further negotiations.
With who?
So while dismissing the recent threats from Sudanese Foreign Affairs Office, which criticized Kenya for hosting R.S.F groups in Nairobi, Mudavadi maintained that participants in the Sudanese peace process had commended President William Ruto for his non-partisan approach to the matter. According to Mudavadi, this was despite the allegations that summit held in Nairobi aimed to form a parallel government in Nairobi. But you see, this these people's aim was to form a parallel government, something which the Sudanese government was against. How do I wish, if possible, now since that our president involved in this issue, he could go straight forward to Sudan government and maybe make, if we wanted to be a mediator, then making a mediator when it comes to conflict, we cannot condemn that.
No, we cannot.
We can support it and finally support it to the fullest, right? But the best thing he can do by now to reduce this tension that maybe these people are trying to create, let him now go right there, and if possible, try to bring these two groups together, if possible, to make peace, but not advising him to bring them in our country. No.
Even though Peter anasema, Peter anasema kwamba as Zulfa is true, Kenya should not take sides. This is the same problem we took sides in Congo. Fight. We continue to make mistakes in diplomatic relations in any war. That is taking a side. And which side are you taking for that matter? Mtu Al-Shabaab wametusumbua sana hapa Kenya wakati wakadha, si ndio? Usikie eti Tanzania wanaongea na Al-Shabaab over us. How will you feel? How would you feel?
It will be very unfortunate. Yes. and you can feel so bad. Yes. And at some point you cannot trust that government anymore. Yes.
Even sisi kwa Africa tumeanza kuchukulika like a certain country that is not good, that is not straightforward. Because we are making, as Peter said, we are making the wrong. In fact, tunajishikanisha na side ambayo in the side of history, no. It will go down in history that Kenya signed, not Ruto. Kenya signed a charter with a militia. Kenya.
You as an individual, what do you want the nation to know?
I think I am very clear on that, and I've been very clear. Whatever it shall happen, obviously, says Izuya. Sour, but that is just dirty. That is just dirty. That is what I can say. What would you say?
This is my message to also the Sudanese government, right? I'm not here by supporting whatever is going on in your country. Me as one of the Kenyans, right? But according to the information we have right now, is that the Kenyan president was trying to give room for those people to have a dialogue, and if possible to promote peace in your country, right? He never had any information yenye ilikuwa inaonyesha like he's supporting those militias to come and now destroy you, no. But the fact that now you just interpreted the way you interpreted, please, I'm urging you, don't make any decision of either bombing the Kenya or doing what or coming up with compulse with war. In short, you will end up killing civilians for nothing, and the Kenyan army will also declare war, which is not good, and we don't want that. The best thing you can do, please, those people came and had a meeting. Yes, we cannot deny that, but the fact is nobody is supporting them to come and destroy you. So if possible, you really need to come and sit with the Kenyan president, if possible, for you to have a good talk, a dialogue that will dissolve this issue. We don't want either of you to just maybe creating enmities. Yeah, that is what I can tell you. Yeah. So story attention ama nini vile mko na jeshi, pia Kenya iko na jeshi. Vile mnaweza rusha vitisho hao pia wanaweza kaasirika, si ndio? Na watu wenye wanaenda kuumia just civilians. Sasa msitake kutesana hapa kwa sababu maybe he want to know. We really need peace. Africa, kumbuka we share the same color, right? So we are Africans. We were not meant for war. if possible wacha President Ruto vile alianzisha hii mambo kwanza, ndiye hata anafaa kutafuta hiyo mambo.
Aende Sudan aende apologize.
Yeah, aende aseme what made him to do that. If possible ajaribu ku create good relations with that government.
Peter anasema Zulfa, there's a problem when Habita takes sides. There you become not a good judge or a good mediator, because you should listen to both sides and bring them to one agreement and peaceful talks.
Yes.
Even though peace.
Yes, that is now what I have been talking. Yes, that is what I have been saying. If possible, please go and bring those groups together. Right?
Yes.
If possible,
one table.
Wewe ukapo katikati au akiwa side na hao wengine side, so that you can come up with a solution.
Alafu una take side gani? Which side are you taking? What does yani we continue each day to make mistakes. Ya Congo ilienda hivyo, tukakuwa criticize na Afrika mzima. Hata you see kiti nadhani kidigate lost hapo katikati sababu hizo decisions, unaona? Alafu ndo hii tena ndo sisi hapa tunajiweka kipaumbele kusema ni peace. Peace aje? If it is peace, in fact hata si hapa unaenda huko unaita huyu na huyu, unakuwa like enyewe sisi ni wa Afrika, sisi ni nchi yetu, si wote in the same place.
You go there and call them there.
Yeah, inabaki you tell them.
Yes, you go there and call them there. You wako na many theaters and halls where the conferences can be held, right?
Yeah.
If possible waongee na huko. Maybe kama wenye walikuwa hapo hawajai kukutana ni mabunduki zinaongeanga, then there is a way you can use. By hosting those people in our country, it is very slightly dangerous. Kwa sababu the government declare war.
Hiyo ni kudeclare war na hiyo country nyingine kabisa, because na support aje mwizi, napata mwizi akikuibia alafu naenda pale kama na mwizi waweza kuongea na mwizi. Susha declare war. In fact mkitwa wezi nyinyi wote, wewe ukisimama fellows kwa like nyinyi wote ni wezi, because why you negotiating with that thief and I'm not even there kwa like rudisha wallet ya huyu wewe. It's like you're like fiti. It doesn't make sense. But either way, so as we continue, we shall continue with more of that. But kwanza tumsikize what is, because I know people are eager to really hear about what Ruto Raila in Mombasa announcement after losing the AUC seat. Wacha tujue sababu bwana Odinga hajakuaga, amekuwa Dubai. So I think after he lost alienda huko. So sasa if you would listen to that, Mr. Producer, kwanza.
You can continue.
So basically it's that I don't know what I should say about this thing, because my stand has been like normal tangu imekuaga, like you don't sign this thing with these people, you should be at the right side of history. And I don't get, unajua sometimes I kind of sit down and I'm like, let me go and analyze Mr. Ruto. Let me see how he thinks. Maybe there's something like what can I say? Maybe I don't have it too different when you're tuone and we are not seeing them the way he is seeing them. But man, we keep on doing these things wrong. So I don't know what I can add, just like to chase your video ya Raila tujue, sababu I don't know what to add more about that.
President Ruto, the deputy president and Raila walikuwa Mombasa ama?
Yeah. Hata president amekuwa Mombasa tangu jana. Sababu I watched alikuwa kwenye church. Church ambayo pastor moja iliongea sana. Vitu vingi. Ina trend sana.
Baada ya shughuli hiyo umeendelea kushirikiana, kuongea, kushauriana ili tuweze kusaidiana kama taifa, kwa sababu taifa letu litasonga mbele kama wewe utaendelea kushirikiana na viongozi wote. So Your Excellency, I just want to take this opportunity just to thank you and also to thank Prime Minister Raila Odinga the continued collaboration during our quest as a country for the leadership of the African Union Commission. And even if that activity did not bring us success, we are very grateful because it has solidified our unity, profiled our country well, and today Africa knows that Kenya is a strong nation and Kenya has a big contribution to make for the success of Africa. So Your Excellency, my task this morning is just to maybe invite the two of you to make some remarks as you may find necessary, so that you can help us navigate the future going forward. And without much ado, I want to invite the Prime Minister to make a few comments, and after he finishes, he can invite you to make your comments, Your Excellency. Welcome, Prime Minister Raila Odinga.
Your Excellency, na viongozi wote ambao wamefika hapa, hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Now I'm delighted to be back home. You see, east, west, north, south, home is best. I feel very, very happy and delighted to be back to Kenya after what we went through. And I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you, the President, the Deputy, the Ministers, the leaders, and Kenyans generally, who traveled with us this journey across the length and the breadth of the continent of Africa. This was an enterprise that has been an eye-opener. It gave us opportunity to understand our continent better, to engage and talk with the leaders across the whole continent of Africa, north, south, east, west. We now know more clearer the challenges that faced our continent. I have an opportunity to meet with over 40 presidents of African countries in their own capitals, and talk to them not just about my candidature, but also listen to them tell me the challenges that they are facing as countries. If you listen to the talks, you see that problems are facing our continent are very similar in nature. And you also get to realize that most of them, of course, are historical. The roots in the way Africa has, the way the neo-colonial system has continued to exploit Africa after political independence. So we came up with a program to make Africa work. We came up with a program first to bring peace, to silence the guns in the continent. Because without peace there can be no development. And all over Africa guns are singing, despite the resolution that was made in 2013 to silence them by 2020. We came up with a very ambitious program of infrastructure development to interconnect our continent. We also came up with a program of how to tackle the issue of climate change. created quite a bit of awareness in the continent. And I'm very grateful for the reception that I received throughout the continent. And finally, we went to Addis. Before we went to Addis, the women of Kenya, Orange Women, hosted a prayer meeting for me in Mombasa, Kenya. They prayed for me, for the God of Kenya to give me victory. And I told them, look, I'm going to Addis, and you shouldn't be worried. You shouldn't be worried at all. Because I was actually picking this from a story I got from a friend of mine. You should never worry at all. If you are sick, don't be worried. There are only two things that can happen to you. You can recover or you can die. If you recover, there's nothing to worry about. But if you die, you've also nothing to worry about. Because if you die as a Christian or as a Muslim, you have only two places to go to. Either you go to heaven or you go to hell. So if you go to heaven, there is nothing to worry about, to enjoy. But if you go to hell, you should not worry. Why? Because you're going to meet so many of your friends there that you'll take a lot of time greeting them and wishing them well, that you will not have time to worry about. So I told them that, look, if we win in Addis, we will have succeeded. But if we don't win, if we lose, we will not have succeeded. Why? Because we will have other jobs to do. We'll come back home and do other things. So we have succeeded, because we will now come back home to join you people here, back home. So I am very grateful to be back home. I want to thank again my brother, younger brother, President William Ruto, who stood by me. He never asked me to run. I announced myself that I was going to run for this position of chair of African Union Commission. And he only came after I made the announcement to say that he was supporting my candidature. And he did support my candidature not just by words, but by deeds. He put up the machinery to help the campaign for me. I've seen billions being said, quoted, somebody's talking about 13 billion shillings spent on the Raila campaign. I don't know in which world those guys live on, whether they know what a billion means. A billion shillings to do what? The money that was spent was the money that was necessary just to hire transport to travel around. And we were not living luxuriously. We were eating whatever was given to us wherever we went to. And many other African countries were very generous. They provided us accommodation and so on. So, but the government gave what was required. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs was available 24/7. And the other government departments to make appointment for me to be able to meet the leadership across the continent. So I want to thank my brother very profusely for their support. And I also want to thank the other leaders across the continent, those who voted for us. There are those who stood with us to the last moment and voted. And if we had wanted, we would have completely stopped the elections, because you require 2/3 to be elected. And these leaders were ready to go with us to the end, and they would not have been able to get the 2/3. So I thank them. And I also thank those who voted against us, because in doing so, they were exercising their democratic right. That's how democracy works. So we are not bitter at all. I congratulated my competitors, the candidate from Madagascar, the candidate from Djibouti, who eventually won, and wish him well, indeed. So we are available to help the continent of Africa, but more importantly, we are also available for Kenya. I'm back home here. I'm going to meet with my friends, my supporters, and I'm going to consult widely what's going on forward. And in due course, we're going to announce our way forward. So we'll give a way forward very, very shortly. Today, we just came to meet, asked for this meeting to come and thank the President and his team for the support they've given me, and also to thank the Kenyans who have supported me throughout all this period of campaign. And I just want to say, watch this space. I will be talking again. Thank you very much. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Prime Minister Raila Odinga, distinguished leaders who are here, ladies and gentlemen, let me also echo the words that have been ably put by both the Deputy President and Prime Minister Raila Odinga, that this morning we met here to bring closure to our candidature as a country through Raila Odinga for the Africa Union Commission Chair. As you are all aware, when Prime Minister Raila Odinga announced that he wanted to run for the position of Africa Union Commission Chair, as President and leader of this country, Raila Odinga being a leader in our country and a candidate, I took the position that this was not about Raila Odinga the person, it was equally about Kenya the country. And we processed his candidature through cabinet, and cabinet took the decision that we were going to deploy support from the government of Kenya, as has been done before, to support the candidature of Raila Odinga. I am very proud that Raila Odinga put forth a formidable, serious candidature across the African continent. He was available for all the appointments that were made for him. He made journeys on air and on the road to different capitals, different cities, to canvass his candidature on his own behalf and on behalf of Kenya. His candidature brought all Kenyans together. I think his candidature attracted support from the different political sides, people in the opposition, people in government, everybody, we were united behind the candidature of Raila Odinga for the Africa Union Commission chair. And this morning, we take the opportunity to thank everybody who made a contribution, big and small, to the candidature that was put forward by Kenya of Prime Minister Raila Odinga. I wish to thank my brothers and colleagues across the continent of Africa for their show of solidarity and the support they extended to Kenya and to Raila Odinga as he put forward his candidature. And also thank them that when it became necessary that we make the decision not to have a stalemate and not to end up with a situation where there would be no chair, they also made the patriotic decision to support whoever eventually won. So as a continent, we are proud that we went through an election. Every candidate, including Kenya, was given the opportunity. But ultimately, we remain as a united continent with an Agenda 2063 that Kenya is going to continue to contribute robustly as we build the necessary infrastructure and network to support intra-Africa trade that has the biggest potential, to support energy transmission and generation, to support agro-processing and value addition across our continent, and to continue to tap into the enormous opportunity that exists for trade and investment in our continent. I also wish to take this opportunity to thank all Kenyans of goodwill who prayed, who gave support in different ways for us to achieve this candidature and to support the Honorable Raila Odinga. Let me also thank the officials, many officials at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other state departments. Many ministers were available, many other public officials were available. People in embassies across Africa made their contribution by ensuring that there was adequate preparation for the various visits that were undertaken and all the other support that was required for us to take the candidature to where it got. This morning, as has been said, both by the DP and Prime Minister Raila Odinga, we close ranks as a country and focus on what we can do for Kenya. The things that require our collective effort. As an administration that is now broad-based, there is every reason for us to accelerate the momentum for the delivery of the things that will transform our nation. And I must be grateful that the necessary political capital that is required to move transformative programs in our country now exists courtesy of the broad-based government, and we will continue to focus on developing the things, the programs, and the policies that will catapult our country to the next level. And we need all hands on deck to be able to achieve this vision and mission. And therefore, this afternoon, let me proudly say my good brother Raila Odinga, you represented Kenya very well. We had, I must say this, I have supported many people in the past, but we had a fantastic candidate. He was present, he was available, and he did what needed to be done. So to all of you and to the people of Kenya, it is again a proud moment for us to receive you back home and to engage with you as we drive the development of our country, as we engage in the nation-building exercise, and as we broaden and widen our engagement as the people of Kenya towards achieving that which will bring equity, which will bring prosperity, and that which will bring transformation for our nation. So I want to say thank you very much for those of you who have made it to this small function. We have many issues now going into the future. I will be in this part of the course for the next 1 week on matters development and to see how we can harness all the energies and the opportunities we have for pushing our development forward. Among the things we will be doing this week is to sign off investment into the Dongo Kundu Special Economic Zone. The president of the Afri-Exim Bank will be here on Friday. And finally, we have an investment roadmap for the Dongo Kundu that will unlock the huge industrial potential of the port of Mombasa and the coast region, and for our country as well, and all the other things that we'll be doing in between, the road programs, the electricity programs, and all the other programs that we will be engaged in. And I want to thank the leadership of the coast region for putting all the programs together as we focus on the transformation of our country. So to all of you, I want to say thank you very much. Asanteni sana. As former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, there will be extensive consultations across the political divide as we work towards the unity of our country and the progress of Kenya. Thank you very much, and may God bless you. Asante. Welcome to lunch.
Okay, so those are the okay. Raila, this is Peter Kimani. Raila failure was contributed by deliberate actions made by Ruto before the AUC election on his position on the DRC, Ukraine, and even is allowing Dr. BCG being abducted from a sovereign country. And then again he says the Zulfa Raila landed from Dubai honeymoon was a Dubai honeymoon and was invited at Mombasa State House meeting because he was to have a meeting with Kalonzo, and it said that Raila threatened to meet Gachagua too. So this is State House WhatsApp group, I think. And then Juma Wanyonyi says Kalonzo ndiye nani Peter. Juma Wanyonyi, you don't know Kalonzo. I shall leave that to Peter to explain to you. Now, Mr. Felix, hebu tuambie maoni yako kuhusu kwanza there's one thing.
Yes.
Nimesikia Kindiki amemuita eti karibu Prime Minister.
Let me tell you.
What is that?
this is what we really need to understand. These people are trying to honor this guy as much as they can, as much as possible, so that he can fall into their trap, right? And remember, they really depend on him much. Sawa? They really depend on this mzee. So, these guys are trying to seduce Mr. Raila Odinga politically. And it is through this process they want to secure their position in the government. Remember, Raila has been a threat in every government. Raila has been a threat in every government. And in fact, anybody could support ni raisi awini, lakini akisimama inakaa vile mnaelewa, unaona? So they are trying, if possible, to seduce him politically, if possible, for him to give them support. That's why you could see at some point the deputy president could come and invite Raila to invite the ish.
Mimi. So amekubali chochote cha prime minister?
Tujajua.
Prime cabinet secretary amekubali kurudisha hicho cheo?
Hatujajua.
Mbona amekubali basi karibu prime minister Raila? What is that? What is, I don't get that ni kusedusiwa na disedusiwa. How can you get seduced to something that you already, it's like you already have an area, alafu ni kuseduce na ari ingine the same model, the same thing you have. Utakubali?
Yeah, kwa sababu hiyo ni offer. I have not trained to get it.
S23 Ultra, and then you tell me etishika another S23. It will not seduce.
It is for free.
No, unless ukwele shika S25 ni. You'll be like, oh my God, yes. You are the person.
Let me tell you, Zulfa,
yes.
What you really need to understand is that Raila kwa sahi hajaonyesha msimamo wake ni amegemea side gani, right? Uko sure?
Ngoja kuona maneno magani.
Uko sure? Unataka kusema like amesaliti Kalonzo?
Kubali akikuja aseme, sawa, and do not address me by that name. Sawa? Mimi ni Raila. Mambo ya prime minister nimeachia Mudavadi.
Zulfa, I want to remind you that Mudavadi is not a prime minister in Kenya.
He's the prime cabinet.
No. There is a very big. We only have two prime ministers in history.
He's the prime.
Peter, let me ask you. Tuko na prime minister sahi? No.
Nimesema ni prime cabinet secretary. Let me go and research.
Zulfa, what is your argument?
In fact, the thing is,
what is your argument?
Mudavadi
ni prime minister wa Kenya.
Mudavadi sawa ndio amesimamia hivyo vitu vyote. So like hiyo position yake is the same as prime minister. Well, that's why people asked. People walikuwa wanauliza akikuja Mudavadi ataenda wapi? Na kazi ya Mudavadi itakuwa ni gani? Do you get that?
So let me tell you what you really need to know. By now we don't have a prime minister in this government, right? What we have is that seat. Nisikize tafadhali.
But whatever the prime minister does.
Usiniambie aje. Do you know that kuna some of the countries zenye zinakuwa
whatever role that the prime minister used to do kitambo is the same thing that Mudavadi is doing right now. So when you add another person on that chair, is like Mudavadi anafanya kazi gani bado?
I want you to confirm the difference between the prime minister and the role of Mudavadi.
You are dwelling on something that is not important.
No.
The important, I've not.
Remember, there's somebody who is
the prime minister.
This is my point. Remember, there's somebody.
We don't have a prime minister.
Remember, there's somebody outside here who depends on your information. So whatever you may speak, that is what the person is going to do. What to just take, please.
I have not said that Mudavadi is the prime minister. So do not try to misquote me. I have said that whatever a prime minister does is what now this other person is doing. That's why Kenyans were asking, if you bring that position, then what Mudavadi will be doing? I don't know which Kenyan you've been the last few days, but that has been the question.
As if you don't know where I have been in for the last few days.
If you don't know
it is because you don't know the main reason.
Oh my God.
The main reason a prime minister should be present in the government, and the seat where Mudavadi is
What is Mudavadi?
It's just
what is Mudavadi?
the way you understand.
What is Niambie ni nini kwa government?
Mudavadi will never play a role of a prime minister.
Because you know he is what? Ni nini kwa government Mudavadi?
Hicho chenye umesema.
Ni nini? Wajua, I'm confused. Zulfa ni confused. Please Felix, explain to me, what is Mudavadi in the government? What is Mudavadi? Research alafu kuja uniambie.
No, I'm not going to do research.
They do not correct me on something that you don't even know.
But the fact you
so
really need to know
that you don't even know.
Nisikize.
Inakuwa confusing.
The fact you really need to know.
So let us move forward to Raila now. So Raila ndo ule pale anadresiwa kama prime minister. And we are like, why is he accepting that? Why is he mbona anakubali hicho cheo? Why? When you say anasukwa na vitu kama hizo kidogo kidogo, I don't get at all. I don't understand why you would accept that. But maybe you understand, so please tell us.
Yes. Just as I said, these people are trying to seduce him politically so that if possible they could capture him. You know, somebody like Raila is so influential, so by having Raila in their program, it will be very easy for them to win whatever they may think that they really need to win. So that's why they are trying to, if possible, break the boundaries to have him. Are you convinced? You are not convinced?
I am not.
Then what do you think maybe will be the reason why they are there with Raila? Or they wanted to...
Apparently, Peter amesema that Raila threatened to meet Gachagua. And he was to have a meeting with Kalonzo. If that is true, then I think that would be a competition for them. It would be a risk.
Then why are you trying to say that you are not convinced with what I'm telling you? Because these people really need Raila support for them maybe to be successful in whatever they need.
Kumnyamazisha. Ati unakuambia government bila Raila yezi endelea.
Nikuulize swali. Saa hii uko sure kabisa like Raila asimame nyuma ya mtu hapa hivi akaa mtu kaa Kalonzo kwa mfano. Unataka kuniambia hiyo kitu iwezi kuwa threat? Wewe acha mambo my friend. Do you remember in the year where were you in the year 2002 when Raila was supporting Kibaki? Ulikuwa? How old were you?
2 years.
2 years. Tafadhali you need to keep quiet then.
I felt I don't get what you're arguing about.
Akiwacha nikwambie my sister, that man has got influential. Let me tell you the truth. That guy has got an influence.
On who?
Akisupport mtu ambaye siyo serikali. Let me tell you. Sasa let me ask you. Alikuwa namba 2 na kura ngapi?
Soma Peter amekwambia kitu pale.
Ati nini? Sasa si ndio hiyo? Wewe ndio ulikuwa unanipinga. Si wewe ndio ulikuwa unanipinga?
Understand you. Sawa, pale kuna nani? Kuna Juma Wanyonyi anasema ya kwamba mahali Joho, Wandai, Mbandi, and Oparanya hapo ndio mzee ako, hawa watu wengine ni kelele tu. And then there's Peter sema Zulfa, there was a breach of protocols and that's the bad manners we wanted to export at Addis Ababa. Many presidents of African countries with brains could not allow such nonsense in the AU, and that is true. And then Peter akasema at Felix we don't have a prime minister in Kenya, we only had 2 prime ministers in Kenya, Kenyatta and Odinga.
Peter, that was what I wanted people to understand, that Musalia Mudavadi is not acting as a is not playing a role
of Musalia Mudavadi.
Unajua Zulfa, skiza, let me tell you, if you want to intensify the discussion,
when I say this is not a mouse, sawa, I must explain what is the role of this. So if you want to correct me and explain to the Kenyan people as you are saying, sawa, please tell us what's the role of Mudavadi right now. Tell us kabisa kazi yake ni nini.
now that you are trying maybe to show your dominance, I'll give you assignment. Okay, I want you to go and do research about nusu mkate. Understand?
You do not.
I want to go. I want you to go and do research about nusu mkate ya 2007. Uniambiaje what was the role given to the prime minister and the president. Sawa, alafu kesho utakuja utanikumbusha. So kwa sahi wewe
at this point you don't
no
even know what Musalia does in the government.
Swali. Kwani do you know that ID yangu inasoma mimi ni Mkenya?
Explain.
Si mimi nilipiga kura na nilijua vile wenye walichukua na government yenye kwa government yenye inaniongoza sasa hizi ninaelewa everything yenye inaendelea.
Explain to us.
I cannot because you are trying to maybe use that advantage in kuleta discussion intensify discussion. Eti sasa sijui the role of Musalia Mudavadi. Wewe wacha hiyo mambo uko nayo.
Oh my God. When you want to correct someone, you tell them unajua sio ni bakuli na bakuli inatumika hivi. So when you want to correct Zulfa, you correct Zulfa, you're like hakuna hivi but anafanya hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi. And then next time if I'm wrong I want to do the same mistake. So you explain to us Mudavadi anafanya hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi. Na huyu hivi. So there's a difference. That is how you correct someone. But you don't say Z apana and then you jump onto something else. How will I know why I'm wrong if you cannot correct me and explain to me what exactly you're talking about? It doesn't work that way. But either we were raised differently.
No, nimekupea assignment. Kesho ukinikumbusha nitakwambia.
Nimekupea assignment.
Haya basi.
Assignment nikiwa shule.
Okay.
So you were talking about something.
I was talking about something that you interrupted me.
You were saying that Raila has an influence.
Yeah, which is true. Let me tell you the truth. Saa hii Raila simama aseme mtu mwenye anapewa kura ni somebody. That will be the moment utaona hata watu wakieka vichwa hapo. Yes. So wezi niambie eti minus Raila eti nini wezi win. Let me ask you, Raila alikuwa namba 2 na kura ngapi?
Like when you say akona influence, sawa, si ndio? When you say that akona influence and each and every time he keeps on losing yeye mwenyewe. So what kind of influence is it that he has that he can't even fast?
Nani alikwambia he has been losing?
Kwani results zinatoka zikiwa aje?
Thank you so much for trusting that result. So I was trying to say kwa sahi, sawa? The former prime minister anajaribu kuwa persuaded by these politicians if possible to support them, right? But the fact is Raila alikuwa sha promise wa Kenya that the person is going to support his Kalonzo. Na truly if he is going maybe to fail Kalonzo, then it will be very bad. I'm telling you, it will be very bad. But by now Kalonzo, I could see him working together with Gachagua, right? If Raila is going to mention that you people you should vote Wiper Party for governance, be sure with me the competition between Wiper Party and Kenya Kwanza and the UDA will be very 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 competitive. At the same time akisupport sijui ni Gachagua kwa mfano, sawa, that will be the moment. Mostly people do say that they don't want to vote UDA again, any party apart from UDA. So nataka kujaribu kuimagine ile design yenye alisupport Kibaki in the year 2002, he could do it again right now. Yeah, Zulfa. So they are there to persuade him. They are trying to bring him closer for them, if possible, to get support from him. Yes.
Okay, sawa. Now see what Peter has done. Unaona? Peter amefanya hiki kitu vizuri. Ako like at Zulfa Mudavadi is just a minister prefect, sawa, but can't give orders to CS. But B is just the same as them as CS of Foreign Affairs. You know when Peter ameifanya, you correct someone and you explain something. You don't just say nimekupea assignment. What kind of bringing is that? You say this is what this person does. That way next time sema hivyo. Unaona? But usema eti
unajua wakati you when you were trying to compare his seat, when you are trying to compare prime minister seat and with that one, we never marry.
Good. Okay, good. So, thank you, Peter. Now the thing is Raila. Me, I think they're not threatened that Raila has a back someone, because that one we have seen at you see Amanda Uko. Like, no, that is not the issue. I think because Gachagua ni huyu ako your side, Kalonzo ni huyu ako your side, Wamala ni huyu ako your side. Now, if Raila joins them, it's like everyone with some kind of influence in the government, ama in Kenya, I may join the other side. So unapata aish wakorana ni sasa. So at least let them, they want to remain with someone. But I don't think that kiti cha hiyo unasema cha prime minister is the way to seduce someone like that. Because Mr. Raila, as we said in the other wakati mwingine when we were having this discussion, people were like, Raila shouldn't accept that seat.
I'm one of them.
Shouldn't.
I'm one of them.
Na yeye kukubalia title prime minister. Hiyo ni madhara.
See, the prime minister, is he not a former prime minister of the country, Zulfa? Like, seriously? He was, okay, Ali, let me ask you, Jaden, Uhuru Kenyatta, see president, see former president of this country.
Is he the president?
So lazima nikimpata hapo nje nimsalimie niaje Uhuru niaje nini. I should give him that respect that he deserves. Raila is the former prime minister of this country. So that ile title bado iko hata kwa historia. Ni ile sasa tunaweza sema that period ended. Ile yenye alikuwa prime minister, but it is ni kama sasa nikuulize ukitaka mtoto akizaliwa akuwe kijana akienda chandoni, sawa, anakosa bado kuwa the son to somebody, si bado anakuwa. In fact, hapana, you want to make a good example when somebody is getting married na bado kuna babake na mamake, inamaanisha like sasa haizi kuwa tena mtoto wao wazazi wakubwa tena siku nyingine, si bado anabaki kuwa mtoto wao wazazi wakubwa. So let me tell you, historia inasema Raila was once a prime minister, even he is the second prime minister of this republic.
Felix,
bado yeye ni prime minister, akona hiyo title. Sasa ni makosa kumuita iti Mr. Prime Minister?
Why?
Kuna vitu zingine ziko very no,
because I don't get
Raila is the former Raila is the former prime minister of this country, so that title still remains hata kama ni yuko kwa ofisi, na hiyo kumuita hivi is part of respect. It doesn't mean kumuita prime minister sasa ni eti sasa wamempea hiyo weza kwa ofisi. What is wrong with you, my sister? Huh? Raila is being given respect in reference to what he ever worked as in this country. So, kumuita Mr. Prime Minister, he deserves. Ni kama mimi nikutane na President Ruto, Uhuru. Siwezi mwanza kumwambia ni aje Uhuru ni aje ni sasa wewe si president. No. He also deserves that respect. He was once a president. So by honoring him and calling him that name, it is part of respect and honor to him. And remember, they really want him. So Felix, persuading him is what they really need
a win. So I'm going to let you win that one.
No, there is no win there.
Juma, nobody would say Muganga could work with Uhuru Kenyatta, and Ruto, if he works with Kalonzo, he will be the same coalition with Rigiji. Indirect. Raila knows the mood and ran to winning team. Okay. So apart from the argument of Prime Minister, do you have another argument of insisting on that?
The problem with you want as in my part to remain being arguing.
No, you want to argue.
Right?
I'm like, why are you arguing about the Prime Minister thing?
No.
I mean, like, endelea, Kaka Felix.
Yes. Thank you for accepting. You don't need to work with what is not the reality, right? Yes, we really need to work with the reality. That's why even in the government we want everything to go according to the reality. Yes. So they met today. They made some of the they made some of the speeches. Maybe they could address the nation. I'm very grateful for that. In fact, I really appreciate. That is now the way we need to live. but now when it comes to political togetherness and whatever and everything, Raila akumbuke akona deni la Kalonzo almost 3 times, 15 good years. Yeah, miaka yangu minus hiyo 15 good years ndio Kalonzo alianza kufanya nini? Kumsupport. So the moment President Ruto anaweza win Raila anaweza kuwa amesaliti Kalonzo vibaya sana, and it will never be okay. So wacha msupport wafanye kazi saa hii kwanza, lakini ikifika ile time nyingine Raila kumbuka kuna deni la Kalonzo. That is what I have. Umenielewa? Yes, that is what I can say. Uko na swali gani tena?
Actually, Ebu continue. I'm looking for something here. I'm looking for that question that you want me to ask you.
Yes, no problem. So what I want all Kenyans to understand is that at some point, every man, sasa unajua like nikisema every man itaenda kwa perspective like ni man kama mimi. Anyway, mankind basi. Mankind ikwe mwanamke mwanaume. And deserve what is the best for the benefit that the person could maybe need to gain. Hakuna mtu mwenye anaweza fanya kitu yenye akoshua ataenda kulose. Nobody wants to be a loser. In whichever case, ikwe kitu less, ikwe kitu kubwa, ikwe kitu gani. Everybody really needs to maintain the status that stabilizes the person's heart. So by seeing President Ruto and Raila saying that we are now working together and let's work together and whatever, it never meant that now that maybe Raila ajui kitu anataka na yule President Ruto ajui kitu yenye anataka. So we really need to be very careful and remember that these political activities that do take place are games. Like these are political games, and you really need to be very careful where you can vote. Yeah. At some point, you know, niliona kwa mtandao watu wanajaribu kuingilia nani anaitwa nani Chebukati. Yeah, wanamuingilia sana. Mbona? Ni kwa sababu at some point some of them could blame him that he didn't do his work fairly. So
but I saw
na mambo na politics ni politics. Yes.
The son of Chebukati, I hear the last one, alienda kwenye mtandao kaambia watu waache kumwingililia babake. Sawa?
Hao ni machungu.
Because I think
hao ni machungu.
Kwenye miguu zake nikaona if it was my dad or my mom, sawa, I would feel bad that memory yake ina get disdain the last days. Hata mwizi akiuliwa kwenye kijiji ama akishikwa unasema we lost someone that we loved, even though we all knew alikuwa ni mchawi. Unaona? So I think kidogo tungeacha familia imono, but Kenya ni nani? Kenya don't even care about that. So the question is, if right now, as you're saying, as you're insisting, Mr. Raila were to be given that seat, do you think he would take it?
I am not sure whether he will take it or not, because at some point, according to the way I know Raila, maybe aonyeshe interest lakini aibike kuichukua. But I'm not sure kanaweza ichukua machukui. But the fact is he really needs to remember that amekuwa na watu wake kutoka kitambo. Sasa akuje kuwasaliti wakati yeye anaanza kuzeeka eti anataka kurudi nyumbani wakati afanya nini? It will be never good. By the Raila ametetea hii Kenya yetu. Ameitetea vibaya sana, ndio maana hata wafuasi wengi wangemfuatilia kutoka nyuma. Alileta hiyo alijaribu hiyo constitution ya 2010 ikakuja. Sawa? Alisumbua moja hadi multi party simu ikaingia. sawa. He has contributed much. He has contributed much. So maybe kama anaweza amua kuentice na hicho chewa achukue, sawa basi ni kusawa kwake, but anaweza kuwa betray many people wenye wamekuwa wakimfollow kutoka nyuma kama role models. Yeah, mimi mtu mwenye bado naendelea kutaja ni Kalonzo. Kalonzo amekaa kwake hadi the last elections, amewekwa kama minister of something. Na Kalonzo ni mtu mwenye ako hadi na potential kusimama kama president.
I would like to ask sawa Mr. Kalonzo, like why did he support this person for all those years?
It is because
like, sijamaza swali. Sijamaza swali.
Kidogo sana ni kujibu.
Mr. Kalonzo.
Okay, hivyo hiyo stajibu. Hiyo stajibu.
The thing is, why would he, it is good, sawa, ni loyalty. He supported this person for 15 years as it was stated. Sawa. He supported and even after he lost and lost again and all that. Now, why did he support him for all those years? And ikafika mahali yako like, no, wait, let me join nini. At what realization? So anyone who can, is Mr. Kalonzo, that is a question. Why support this person for all these years?
Zulfa, I'm not going to answer that question because it doesn't concern me, but I'm going to give an information that can convince you as you wait for the answer, right? Let me tell you, there is somebody who is loyal. I don't know, royal anyway, right? And the person at some point cannot maybe betray whatever you have decided to do as a team. And we have got those people who really know how to keep promises. And we have those people who doesn't have trust issues. Unanielewa?
Yes.
We have got those people who doesn't have trust issues. They can just trust you as long as uliwa promise kitu, sawa? And I think that is a man Kalonzo is. So Kalonzo is not maybe somebody mwenye anaweza kupatia ahadi ya uongo. Yes.
You know Kambas are the most loyal people.
According to your information, but a man is a man.
A man is a man kusema.
Yes, it is not all those people as you say. Hakuna watu wenye si loyal.
So you want to say that men are loyal?
Tuko na watu loyal, tuko na watu wenye huwezi trust. So hakuna place yeti watu ndio wako wazuri mahali place wengine wako. But the fact is Kalonzo amejaribu kuplay part yake ya kumpatia trust. Hebu tuone vile ataenda betray.
Actually, I think to establish kitu juzi. To establish, so like we already did when he said that when we were here talking, and I remember Mr. Abdi said that this person was supported for 15 years. Actually, I didn't know it was for 15 years. So,
ni 3 times.
Yeah?
Ni 3 times amemsupport. Nimekujibu.
Wanijibu nini Felix?
Amemsupport 3 times in every term inakuanga na miaka 5.
I see you're trying to pick an argument with me.
No.
The WhatsApp.
Cheki, hii Kenya ina mambo, angalie tu health. Mambo ingine anyway.
Felix umetoka nje ukafanya nini? Because naka zako zimeshika like I'm trying to
No.
You're trying to correct me. Nimesema 15 years. Stop with you.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Fiti, thank
Sai,
you.
our
Thank you for your information.
In Kenya ina kazi juu aje. Kim anasema if possible wazingatie masuala ya afya. Wala let me tell you the truth. In Kenya what they really need to oversee ni mambo na health. Hizi mambo zingine na security. Hizi mambo zingine sasa. Mbona si uniongeleshe?
You wanna speak? Let me give you the chance to speak. You don't really speak for me. Sawa? Unataka kuniongelea niongelele sasa.
Tan. Ongea.
Are you done now?
Kuna zile vitu zenye ziko meant for that thing you are doing. You are funding yourself using a leave. Anyway.
Speaking and interrupting me speak. That is very
Zulfa
rude of you.
Zulfa, you need to know what?
Are you done speaking?
You need to know something.
Are you done speaking?
Will you mind if you give me your ear, if possible? Zulfa, take your time and figure out whereby we have got a very good country with very good leaders, but some of the individuals in those leaders, they tend to consider their interests as compared to the way they consider work. Yes. When do you think you will have smart and good infrastructure? If at some point when the same people go outside there, you find some of the individuals cheering them. When? That is now the question we need to ask ourselves. Why at some point others we are complaining in this side, and the other side other people are cheering? What do you think is in between the individuals? What do you think?
About what?
Au kuna nisikiza? Anyway.
Unaongea kama ambaye unajiongelesha wewe.
Nilikuwa naongea. Nikikuaddress both wewe na watu wenye wame to join live. So I'm trying.
What do you think about what?
About when we have a country whereby we have got individuals who seem to consider their interests, like at the same time you find some of the individuals, the civilians, could even cheer these people when these people go outside there, right? And at the same time we have got some of the individuals who are against these people. So you find that there are those people who are cheering them, and there is another party who is complaining about the same people. What comes in your mind when you think that there are some of the services that you are missing? At the same time, some of the individuals could cheer the same people who you think are taking advantage over you.
Unauliza nini wale? Unasema advantage ya watu wabidi wanachia, and then kuna advantage. What is the question directly? Kuna people ambao wanachia kwenye wawachi, and then advantage ni
Zulfa. Raila ni mmoja kati ya watu wa serikali, kwa mfano, sawa? Watu wana complain kumuhusu. Thank you. You ashajibu. Wewe ulikuwa umeweka sijui ni wapi, maybe mafikra, sasa huko nielewa. Sasa wakati Raila ako kwa serikali, unapata kuna watu wanampinga, sawa? Wakati watu wanampinga, kuna wengine akitoka hapo nje tu akianza kuongea watu wanamchia, sawa? But at the same time wengine hapo nje wanalia. So what do you think is that? Is it because some of them maybe wamefumbwa macho, ama wengine ndio hawajafumbua macho waone chenye kimefanyika ndio waanze kuchia pamoja na wengine? That is now what we are experiencing right now. Na
kuna mtu anabasha kujibu.
Yeah.
Amesema nini?
Amenijibu vizuri sana hadi baida, na nashukuru sana. Anasema for those who do cheer, mostly they do cheer because of pressure. Sawa? And the fact to see somebody they were not intended to. Alafu wanachia kwa sababu ya pressure, anaendelea kwenda hapo mbele yani. Na at some point huwa wanajaribu kufurahia kuona mtu either mara ya kwanza. Anyway, kwenda hapa mbele siwezi soma. So at least umeelewa. let us not be let us not be examples of these people, by the way. Yeah, tusimame na reality, tuseme yenyewe hapana, hata kama wewe unakaa mzuri ama mbaya ama nini, hata kama tunakuwa na first time, let us not cheer because of cheering. Can you cheer the achievement you have achieved for the last 24 hours? Why are you cheering somebody mwenye hata uko sure maybe hata hajai contribute anything in your life? Anyway, thank you so much. This is Prince and Felix. In fact, tukutane kwa hiyo show next.
So this is Zulfa. Let us meet in the next show. This was Sema Nasi. Tupatane hapa mnamo saa kumi on the dot. We shall be here. So bye bye.